What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Mike Robinson. It's another episode of Let's Take a Walk. I hope everybody had a blessed week. I absolutely did, but as usual, it just flew by. I went to sleep. I went to sleep on Monday and woke up. It was Friday, so here we are. Tonight we have another awesome guest for you. She's been on the platform before, and I'm excited to sit down with her again to kind of catch up and see what she's been doing since the last time that we spoke. This is Miss Lynese Slade. She's an entrepreneur, a speaker, a worship leader, an encourager, a lover of all things God. We're gonna sit down and chop it up with her. But for those of you who may not be familiar with Miss Slade and her movement, I'm going to give her the floor to kind of reintroduce herself and give a little background on all that she has going on at this time. So with that being said, it's on you.
Hey everybody, those who are watching and tuning in later. I am Lynese Slade and I am a mom of four. Of course, I have three girls and a son, and I'm just ecstatic about everything God is doing in them and through them and with us as a family. Um, I'm also an entrepreneur. I am a hairstylist that is on a break, and I'll be returning someday soon. I've been a hairstylist since I was probably 20 years old, so just definitely 20 years in the hair game, and just took a small break just due to life happening. I'm also an entrepreneur, which that is a part of my entrepreneurship. But I also have just launched a t-shirt line last month, and I'm so excited about it. It's something that has been on the inside of my heart and in my spirit, and it was birthed definitely last month, fully the way I wanted it to do, how I wanted it to be. I definitely, as far as movement, a lot of people may know definitely that I did launch a T-shirt probably 4 years ago when my late husband passed away. So that was the like get up and go that caused me to just really deep dive into that area. But just life happened, and I just had to do some resetting. And I'm here. I'm also a worship leader. I love God tremendously. He is like everything. And so in every part of my life, he is there. And I just love worshiping him and also leading people into the presence of God. It just blesses me all the time. And just being able to shift atmospheres and do what God has called me to do prophetically and just musically. That's a little bit of about me. Um, and I'm just glad to be here tonight with you, Mike.
And I am glad to have you. Like I said earlier, she Miss Lynese has been on the show before, and she's absolutely family and a friend to the platform. Um, where do I start? In addition to being a T-shirt owner, you're also an artist, and
Yeah, I did
so
leave that out.
and so you released a single called "Breath of God."
Yeah.
Um, what was that like? Was that your first ever single ever released?
Yeah, that was my first single ever released.
So,
Like professionally, uh,
right.
all that. So yeah, it was a cool experience. It's definitely I learned so much doing it. It was just something that I knew had to be like released like immediately, especially with all that was going on, like with the pandemic and just me in general. I just needed to like release something, like something in the earth. But I knew it was definitely a God song because of how He gave it to me, and it was something that I needed to just really get done and, like I said, release into the earth. I did release it in September of 2020. So it's been almost 2 years since I've released anything else. So I am working. I am making plans on getting some new music out there, but it's available on all digital platforms. It's Breath of God. And in parentheses is Ruach, which is the Hebrew word for breath of God, spirit of God, and wind of God.
So do you feel like an artist?
No. I feel regular. I just I feel regular. Like I just feel like a worship leader. Like I don't know what that feels like. So I guess I just feel regular. That's the only thing I can say. I think I should probably take myself more seriously than I do. I'll say that. I just kind of I downplay myself a lot, and I think I should take myself. I know that I should take myself more seriously than I do. So that's something that I'm working on in this season of my life. Just being serious about not that I'm not serious about the things of God, but serious about this area of my life and where it can take me.
You know what? I'm kind of glad that you brought that up because that leads me into a question that I've been kind of like excited to ask. Like you mentioned taking it serious. Like you said, you were taking it serious. You're starting trying to take it more serious.
Hmm.
This is going to sound like an unusual question, but do you hear when 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 you listen to yourself? Whether it be doing being a worship leader, whether you listen to your single, whatever. Do you hear what we hear? And what I mean by that is, let me explain it. What I mean by that is, on as a as the person that's partaking, that's experiencing what you're doing. I'm hearing an amazing an amazing vocalist. I'm hearing an amazing worship leader. I'm hearing somebody who truly hears from God. Do you do you feel like you hear what we hear?
Of course not. Like that's real. Like no, I don't because I know that I am my biggest critic. Like
Hmm.
I'm gonna pick apart. I'm gonna pick everything apart, and this is from a practical, just me being me answer. Like
Hmm.
this is not a God inspired answer. Like I'm just I'm in like that in a lot of areas of my life. So again, I think I just said I'm working on taking myself seriously. So I'm like that in multiple areas. It's just not singing. Like I'm just really hard on myself, almost a perfectionist. So because my voice or because things happen in the spirit and it seems like it gets kind of grungy, like going back and listening to that stuff, it like makes me cringe or actually doing studio work. I'm like, dang, I don't think I sound as good as I thought.
Hmm.
Like,
Right.
just going through different things or like, going back and hearing replays of just raw, vocals sometimes on Sundays for years, it's just like, dang, it ain't sound like that in my head. So I don't I don't I don't necessarily feel like I hear what you all hear. But in I am confident in God, like that I hear and that I try to articulate myself or his what he's trying to convey. I try to articulate it as best as I can.
Yeah. Do you feel like and this kind of came to me, the other day. I'm like, I wonder if there are artists out there that go their whole entire career feeling like what you're saying. Like,
Mm.
is there ever a moment where you feel like you will hear what the public hears or what the people hear? And if you do, what does that mean? Does that mean you um is that a bad thing or a good thing?
I think I think it would be a good thing. I think it would be you actually changing the negative distortion that is in your mind to make you
Hmm.
think that you're not good enough or make you think that you sound horrible or you I think it's like a negative thought
Hmm.
process,
Hmm.
that makes us feel like we don't sound good or yeah, I don't think like even Jonathan McReynolds, I recall him having a conversation and saying he doesn't think he sounds all that good. I'm like, what? He sounds amazing. Like I'm not talking to him, but I'm like, he sounds
Right.
amazing to me versus, how I would classify myself, or
Mhm.
how however you may classify yourself. I just think like I sometimes I think I do sound all right. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But
Mhm.
even in moments where I do think I sound all right, I still will pick
Right.
like, I could have did, this better, or I messed up on this run, or I was pitchy here, even though I can hear it,
Mhm.
um, or trying to maneuver, in notes and keys or whatever, if I'm saying it all right, because I just be blowing. But I just, it goes back to that just being hard on myself, and I think a lot of us creatives are,
Mhm.
um, and I just think we just have to really change the way we see ourselves, and
Right.
then maybe we would hear differently.
Right. Right. Cause like sometimes like I'll listen to something that I did just with that mindset. Like I want to see exactly what they hear. Like, but I've never gotten to a place where I feel like I never felt, I never feel comfortable enough. I guess if that makes sense. I never
Hmm.
feel, I don't know, not, I don't, it's not that I don't feel good enough. I guess for lack of better words, I don't feel comfortable enough either. Like you said, if I hear, like if they play my music at church before church starts, I walk out of the room. Like I leave the
Really?
building. Yeah, I'll leave the building until it's over and then I come back. Crazy.
I get it.
But
I get it.
uh
Yeah, I get it. Totally. I
yeah,
understand.
I'm just not at that place. But moving on. Worship leader.
Hmm.
What does that mean to you? What is that? When you hear a worship leader, what is that? What is the definition according to Lynese?
My definition. My definition is bringing people along on a journey into the presence of God, singing love songs to the Father, wooing people into His presence, that they will experience Him how I experience Him, or how He wants them to experience Him. Just being an articulator of what heaven sounds like, and just kind of like the conduit between, or the vessel between heaven and earth. That makes us all come together. That would be my definition. Definitely, just pulling you in, you know, into his presence.
Do you feel, and I ask this question often, do you feel like in the modern day church, do you feel like the worship leader slash praise team slash choir um gets the recognition, respect? Does it sometimes it can feel like in the modern day church, sometimes it can feel like the praise team that can be taken or left. If that
Mhm.
makes sense.
Hmm. I never thought of that. Anywhere that I have been or been a part of, I felt like it's always been needed.
That
I think I feel like everywhere, even where I am now, it's mad important. Um, where I am now is definitely important. Anywhere that I've been in, as far as ministry or church, it's been very important. It's needed. It's mad important. Like I've never felt that way. Like it could be taken or left. Like I've never felt like that. I guess I've always known the importance of,
Mhm.
music, and how it is definitely one of those things that brings us all together.
right.
Um and it's always been a fun part of ministry or church to me, just growing up as a kid. So it was definitely important as a kid. And we were, pretty tight as when I was growing up in the choir and things of that sort. So it was definitely a major piece. Um, and just, evolving into being a worship leader. Everywhere I've been, it's just been, I feel like it's been very, a very important piece. So I can't necessarily say, I don't think I have experienced that.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely I respect that. But like I said, that's a question that I ask artists when I have them on here all the time.
Hmm.
Because there are some that feel like there's a like a disconnect at certain points where um the music ministry isn't always looked at as an important piece of the
Hmm.
overall, presentation or whatever. So
Yeah.
sometimes, that people tell me about experiences that they've had and different stuff like that. So, like I said, that's a question that I always
Yeah.
pose to whoever I
I'm
have.
sure, I'm sure just being married to two musicians, I think it's been times when they have felt,
Mhm,
unappreciated,
mhm,
so that's just, from a, I know it's a difference, but just from a musician standpoint and the logistics and stuff behind the scene, you know what I'm saying? They felt, unappreciated. But in regards to the importance of, like I said, the music
mhm.
and worship and the services, I feel like it's real important to have. Yeah.
What's the difference between what have you found to be the difference between being an artist and being a worship leader?
Um, I guess I will go back to because I haven't taken it serious because I haven't taken it as seriously as I should. It's kind of I kind of feel I feel the same. I have had to buckle down and, I guess when I am asked to come somewhere, just kind of be straightforward
Mhm,
now in regards to, what I would like or what definitely would help me execute the sound that,
mhm,
God's given me. And just being able to just confidently say those things without, kind of shine away or kind of downplaying my gifts. So I think, yeah, I've been just being more confident, and I think that does kind of help me step into artistry. But I just feel like artistry and worship leader for me will just always be one of those things that like intertwine. Like I will never get away from leading you into, you know, the presence of God. So I don't know. I don't know a good answer for that because
yeah,
like I said, I
because
hadn't
it
taken
has to
it.
be has to be um kind of different when you're actually asked to come to a place to minister.
Mhm.
What what do you go as? You know what I'm saying? Are you going? Somebody says, Lynese, I want you to come and do this youth event over here on a Friday night. Are
Mhm.
you going as Lynese, the worship leader, or are you going as Lynese, Breath of God, Christian gospel artist? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then once you get up, you know what I'm saying? Like, is that a is that a challenge for you, or do you even think about it as that?
I don't think like that. Like we going somewhere. We're going
Mhm.
somewhere. Like even if I sing Breath of God, we're
Yeah,
going somewhere. Like I probably wouldn't box myself in to just be that, you know, I sing this song and that's bye. You know what I'm saying? I just want people to experience God for real.
right.
Even if it goes, a different way. I just want people to experience God. That is a good question, and I think I may have to sit with that one, and just sit with it for myself, and how to. I just don't. I personally, just because of my heart for worship and people, I wouldn't want to separate it. Even though when you get to the artistry side, you have time restraints, you have
Right,
um
right.
but I think when I've learned that in some time restraints when we have in ministry, like that prepares you for artistry. You
Mm.
know you got to be up for 20 minutes and you got to hurry up and get into you got to be able, should have spent time at home or know how to get in the presence of God quick enough to bring these people with you, who pretty much whoever wants to go. But, that's something that you can have in your pocket because, I didn't understand that at first. I'm just like, we are just not allowing God to be him,
Yeah.
be himself. But I
Right.
also, I realized that for artistry purposes, like it is something that you need to know how to do, you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, Lynese, you are like we are in Virginia, and you are, at least in my eyes, because I'm a fan first. I mean, I'm an artist too, and to a lesser degree, but I'm a fan first, and so I look at a lot of the people around the area and what they do. I admire, you know, the Alex Holtz and the Chris Houses and the Kenny Mayos and the Andre Robinsons of the world. All these people that have amazing movements respectively, but they all have that worship leader connection. Like they all have that in common, and they're all powerful in their own right. And I absolutely include you in that list
Mm,
of a powerful voice within the local area and wherever, what I'm saying, wherever you find yourself. But I'm talking, locally or whatever. Do you feel like, do you feel as influential as you actually are?
I mean, I think I'm gonna go back. Just playing now. No, that's no. I was going to go back to I don't take. I don't. I This is something that has been being drilled into me over the past year. Pretty much that I need to take myself seriously, and that this is what happens. This is what This is what happens when you open up your mouth, Lynese. This is what you're called to do. This is So I really have to come into agreement, really, with what or how powerful the God in me is. You know what I'm saying? Or the gift that He's given me is. You know, um, Sometimes like I said, this year has been that year that not only this year, but for the last year, it's been being drilled into me that I need to really see myself the way God sees me. And I know it sounds cliche, but a lot of times we just do. Sometimes we're doing worship leading out of, okay, I'm good at this, I'm needed in this area, I'll serve, without knowing the actual, I would say, without knowing how powerful your gift is, you know what I'm saying? And what it does. Like, I've learned that my gift cuts up atmospheres, that it shifts the atmosphere, that, I have prophetic release that happens, deliverance that happens. It sounds like nobody else. And I think that's probably why I have a hard time, you know what I'm saying? Like, even accepting that this is who I am because I have never seen it before. So yeah. I I just think, yeah, I think it just goes back to like what I keep saying, just really seeing myself clearly and just leaning and pressing into just seeing myself clearly how God made me, and not feeling less than, or
Right.
not feeling or comparing myself. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Me comparing myself to others. And I don't sound like this person and I don't, you may not get the same response sometimes,
Hmm.
I just think it's a comparison thing. And for me, I don't in this space right now see myself in that, you know what I'm saying, group of people. I thank you, but I know that God has great things for me. I know that I am not limited to Virginia. I know that the gift God has given me is far beyond this area. And I think if I would see myself, like I said, if I see myself the way he's created me or the way he intended for me to see myself, I would be further, than I am.
Mhm,
So I guess to answer your question, I think my answer was no at first, but I've tried
mhm,
to bring clarity to why,
mhm. I
I
mean,
feel.
yeah, I definitely understand it. And again, that's something that I just, like I said, I'm a big fan, and I'm a big, I just I love music in its most authentic
Right.
form. You know what I mean? And like I said, when it comes to this realm, with this
Hmm.
vein, there are people like some of the people that I just named, and I could go on and on and on.
Right.
But there there are not many who are are as impactful. And everybody does their thing. You know what I'm saying? So, but when I look at, like I said, when we talk about worship leaders, there's a certain group that I consider worship leaders. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some of the other ones are more, I would say, are more artists than worship leader.
Hmm.
But there's a certain group, you know what I'm saying? A certain group that are, like you said, that come up and chop an atmosphere up. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely consider you one of those. And I often think when I see you and others go before the people and just do what you do. And I always wonder, like, do they, do you guys really, what do you guys see? You know what I'm saying? Do you guys see what we see? Do
Hmm.
you ever experience what we experience? Do you actually know how impactful and again how influential you are within the realm of what you actually do? I I think it's dope.
Right.
I think it's dope. Um, who would you say is your right now? If you had to say right now, who would you say is your biggest influence when it comes to um your music ministry?
Um, that's crazy that you would ask that. Now I love Psalmist Rain.
Mhm.
Um, I love her. I've watched her live. There's no words, like, to express how she moves, and she's a prophetic psalmist. Like it's like an apostolic. Like it's a different level. Um, she, is very inspiring to me. So I would just say her right now. I don't. I really, to be honest with you, and this is my authentic. This is authentic. Like I really like music, but I have never tried to sound like somebody. Or I mean, some people may say I remind them of certain people, but I've
Mhm.
never like sat and studied a person, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah,
so as
yeah,
far as flow, and if I was to have someone that I was inspired by, I would say Psalmist Rain.
awesome. I was talking to Shamir White a while
Hmm.
back. Shout out to Rocket. Uh, and we were talking, and this is kind of going back to what we were talking about just a second ago, and we were saying, and I feel like I need to share this with you.
Okay.
Um, this year, not even this year. My mom actually passed away in July of last year from COVID,
Right.
and as I was kind of mourning that, I felt like God spoke to me, the Holy Spirit spoke to me, and He told me, enough is enough, but not in the conventional sense of what you hear. Enough is enough. Like it's not you're fed up, you're giving up, you're giving in. But he said basically I'm paraphrasing. Basically, he's saying what I've given you, whatever gift, talent, ability, vision, plan, whatever I've placed within you is enough to accomplish whatever plan, vision, whatever that I want for you to accomplish.
Amen.
Stop seeking extra, stop comparing yourself to others, stop trying to um, mimic or imitate or try to follow in the same vein as other people because you think maybe they're further along than you.
Hmm.
What I have given you is enough. And so that's kind of been my mantra for this whole 2022. Enough is enough. Like every I am a good enough singer. I am a good enough minister. I am a good enough husband. I am a good enough
Right.
father. You know what I'm saying? And so with that being said, I'm going to share that. I'm going to share that with you. Enough is enough. Being steadfast and being um, secure in what you have right now, right in this moment, being secure in it and knowing that whatever it is that's in you right now is enough to break down walls, chains, be successful, save people, save souls, whatever the case may be.
Right.
Just enough is enough. You know what I
Amen.
mean?
I receive
So
it.
I'm gonna share that. I feel like I needed to share that with you.
Yeah, I felt God on it. I
Yeah.
think that's a good. I mean, I know you're speaking to me, but I think that's a good way to see enough is enough. Like, because I would have just thought enough is enough,
Right.
but to
Right.
see it that way, like enough is enough, like you have everything you need. And I also, just to kind of expound on it, I struggled too because me and, Vachelle did music ministry together, that I equated worship with this season of my life. Like it's like I had to
Mhm.
relearn,
Wow.
worship again, or relearn my position and what I bring to the
Wow.
table again, because I felt like everything was more so associated with this sound. So it's
Right.
like I've had to learn or relearn, myself, and just do me,
Mhm.
and it's not from a space of, I don't we didn't do, well together or whatever. We did amazing together. But
Mhm.
in this season, it's just really me having to just know that the favor on my life is a favor on my life. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And that it's been the favor that's been on my life, or the gift that I have has been the gift that I've had since the foundation of the earth. It does not mean because I was married to this person, or I
Mhm.
was in relationship to this person, or just because I went to this church. It's what God already put in me before,
Right.
the foundation. So definitely thank you for um confirming that enough is enough. So God has been
Absolutely.
encouraging me through so many people in this season. Like it's like overload. Like because
Yeah.
I'm already stepping into a new season, and you'll see it soon. But
Mhm.
the Lord has just really pouring and being overwhelming in this area. Like you need to know that you're good enough. Like this is what I called you to. I have not
Mhm.
changed my mind about you. So
Absolutely.
thank you.
And that's what it's all about. For a person like me who has since I was a kid struggled with self-image,
Mm,
self-esteem, you're too dark, you know what I'm saying, too skinny, too tall, whatever. I'm just now I'm just now like understanding, gaining an understanding of
wow.
of what that actually, to be secure and be comfortable in your own skin actually is. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
So it's
crazy.
like it's so funny.
Yeah.
But then again, it's right on time.
On time. On
So
time.
it's
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah.
So what role has your ministry played in what you've been able to accomplish up to this point?
What you mean, ministry?
The church, your church home.
Oh, okay. Shout out to Revelation Church. We are in downtown Newport News. Pastor Jason and Prophet Sonia Taylor. I'm so excited to be a part of the ministry. It has definitely changed my life. I knew there was a pull for me to shift out of restoration, which is dear to my heart, and it was just a hard shift for me because of just the connectivity and the family. And I still am in relationship with with my previous pastors to this day, but it was definitely a hard shift because of what the ministry meant to me. But God just shifted me out of that place and just putting me in a place that actually was kind of in formation while I was kind of on like a
Mhm.
break and trying to see where God wanted me to go. And he placed me, I just stopped by there one day just to see what was going on. And there was some other factors that, led up to the moment, but he just strategically placed me in this space with a load of creatives. Um, and just being around, I'm just in a place where I just know that I can just be authentically Lynese, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And just be myself and just kind of woosah and just breathe and um just be healed, just not just in a place of healing, and restoration, and even with the two names of the church, is like, there was restoration. I'm still in the process of restoration, but God is bringing so much revelation to why everything has happened the way it's happened. So the church has played a humongous role. I've gone through some deep deliverance, and I've also been doing some things for myself, just therapy, working out, just doing different things to better myself as a person, as a mom. So it has been a space where I've been able to cry, and not, sometimes I don't have to serve, you know what I'm saying? So it's so many of us there that are well capable to do what it is, God's ordained for us to do in this ministry. So it's just, a space of just kind of, I can just worship, I can just be me, and I also it's just a laid back space where I can just authentically be me. And I just think you know, um, in the pandemic, it also helped me to realize that I am more creative than I thought. And I also just believe that I needed like I said before, a woosah. So the ministry has been very strategic and very influential in um, just how I'm able to stand up here or sit here and smile at you and talk to you and just be able to articulate exactly, like who I am and what God is doing. Like, it's just being affirmed in certain areas, and I've known that different things about myself, but them just kind of saying like, this is who you are. This is what God has for you. Just being very, I just like everything about it. I do. I think it's just been a life changing place for me. And that's just, I know that was a lot, but it's just has
No.
been a very life changing. It's something I needed. It's something that I
Absolutely.
needed. I think every place has been something that I needed. So because I'm right here in this place, like, it's something that I needed. So I'm just appreciative of the community. I think it's community. Um, Culture we're building.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, I'm just glad to kind of put my hands to the plow and help and serve. So, yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. So I'm here with my sis, Miss Lynese Slade. We have talked about being worship leader and the kind of nuances of that. We've been kind of encouraged one another. We've um, just talked about a little bit about uh, being an artist versus a worship leader, and
Listen.
all that entails, and trying to differentiate between the two. Um, we're going to shift gears a little bit and talk about uh, entrepreneurship.
Hmm.
We're going to talk about your T-shirt line that you brought out. So, what's the story behind that?
The story is it's like a 15-year-old story.
Mhm.
I lost my first husband in 2005. Prior to him passing, I just was he was a part of this ministry. They were kind of holiness, and I forgot the name of the denomination. But I was just like this young girl that I wanted to wear Christian shirts back then. Like I wanted to have something on my shirt that let people know that I was this girl
Right.
that loved God, right?
Right.
But we didn't have all we have now. Like, I think we had screen printing, and I would go to this guy and get him to airbrush me a shirt or two. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? Or you had the
Right.
iron on, but it wasn't giving. And
Right.
so after he passed, I had a few ideas, but I just never like, I never quite went with my ideas, or I never put them on a shirt. Just because of just grieving and just not, being focused, just trying to make other fast money in other areas like hair, and just kind of just trying to take care of my son. So it's always been something that I've wanted to do. I've always talked about it, but um then again, like I said, when my shell passed, there was another opportunity, to kind of put out something really quickly, but it was more so for that specific purpose. And again, you know what I mean? Here I am again, just kind of going through the motions and going through this process. But because of definitely the ministry that I'm in and the people that are around me, everybody's just creating. It's like, yo, sis, get to it, and also taking a break from hair. God has given me all this room and space to create. So I just went with it, and I had been compiling designs and everything over the past 6 months, and working with Nathaniel Taylor. Been working with him, and he's been just so creative with me, and we just been kind of stacking. And in February, it's like I just knew like 2022, I have to release this, get it out. So I did kind of like a soft launch, just to get it up off me and get it out there, that people know that this is what I am doing, and that these designs are available, and each shirt has a story behind it. They're not
Mhm.
just random, like how your shirts. They're just never, nothing's random, so that you can get up from anything. That's pretty much what I've been walking through my
Mhm.
entire life. So that's just my, we call my mantra. Like, you can get up from anything, no excuses, with God. You can get up from anything. And I have also another shirt called Unapologetically Peculiar. We know that we are peculiar people, the royal priesthood. We know that about ourselves. And I, coming into the knowledge of that myself, like, I'm peculiar. And my other shirt, I believe, is Believe God, period. I still have those
Mhm.
originals, and the new design. And then the other design that I have is from my single, Can't Live Without You, Can't Breathe Without You. So that's what I have. And you can go and shop at LyneseNicole.com. My shirts are available there. And yeah, they're available. They're there and ready to come to a house near you. Yeah.
Okay. I so how does it feel to be an entrepreneur? Do you feel like an entrepreneur?
I just always been an entrepreneur. Like, I've been getting money. Like, I wouldn't say it like that, but I've been a hairstylist for, like I said, 20 years. Prior to that, like, I was doing hair in high school. Like, run me my $10, or nails and things of that sort. So I've always been an entrepreneur, and I always have ideas. So I still feel the same. I still feel the same as far as entrepreneurship.
Right.
That was something I went to college for. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, so yeah, it's in my blood. Yeah, I'm always have an idea.
Let me ask you this: with everything that you've gone through, plus the things that you have accomplished up to this point, is it a struggle? I don't even want to use the word struggle. Is it a challenge for you to know who you are at various points? Because I mean, I can see how maybe there was a point where you were Bashel's wife.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Or you're Lynese, the hairdresser,
Mm-hmm.
or Lynese, the worship leader, or now Lynese, the speaker and the entrepreneur. Like, is it a challenge for you at various points to know who you are? Are you aware of who you are in the midst of everything that's swirling around you? I
Mm-hmm.
know that sounds kind of like a deep question, but is that a challenge for you? Does it
Um,
seem overwhelming? I guess.
Overwhelming to be all of those things, or
Yeah, to the point where you look in the mirror and you're like, who am I? Is that ever a challenge for you?
um, I can see what you're saying. Like, am I really me? No, but I think I going back to that period of time where I kind of like had a year break between ministry, and not working, and like just transitioning. I was really kind of like really like what you're saying, like who am I? Because I'm not doing the worship leader. I'm not
Right,
doing hair.
because you're not
Not a wife.
because yeah because for so long you're used to being attached to something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so now Lanice is stepping out as Lanice, not Lanice and whatever. You know what
Right.
I mean?
Hmm.
So, at this point, yeah. Sorry to cut you off.
No, no. I mean, it was hard because it almost felt like I mean, for real, it was like almost like a mental breakdown because I've always been connected to something or what I could offer.
Mm-hmm.
Or, even friendships have changed. Like, you have clients that have been your clients for years. You think you friends,
Mm-hmm.
but if you don't offer a service, things change. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. That's wow.
Like if you're not offering, if I can't sing or if I can't do whatever, like I may not hear from you like I heard from you before. Or
Mm-hmm.
even being single, like that thing bothered me, man. Like, of course the death of my spouse bothered me, but having to readjust myself to being single, like for a minute I saw myself as married,
Mm-hmm.
still, because it just was who I was for so long. So it's kind of like readjusting and then having to move different. Like I know, and it bothers me. It bothers me now, um, because I enjoy being married, So it's just just having to maneuver through all of those things and kind of just recalibrate. It was a struggle. Okay, it's like
Mm-hmm.
everything just being ripped from you at one time. It was a complete struggle. Like I really, cliche as it may sound, I had to really lean on God when I did not want to. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Because I'm like,
Right.
you kind of stripped everything from me so that I can really realize who I am just in you.
Right.
So yeah, that single thing, that thing still,
You know what? I am
it
so
still
I am
it
so
because I'm like, yo, I don't want nobody, man. I'm like, like
yeah.
because you gotta move different because people start seeing you as single. And in my mind, for real, I still think I'm married. You're not,
Mm-hmm.
but like I ain't coming for nobody. Like you just gotta move totally different in how you were, or
Mm-hmm.
it's just so much, just so
Yeah.
much that comes with it.
I am so dying to go there with you, but
Hmm.
I'm not gonna go there with you.
Yo, it's just man, that thing there, like, and
Yeah.
I share with my friends, my close friends, but it's a major adjustment, not just being by yourself, but even feeling uncovered, yo. Like
Mm-hmm.
you have to kind of maneuver and do
Yeah.
things on your own, or even
Yeah.
with artistry. Vachelle was the person who handled the logistics and all that stuff for me, so I have to actually be the person that says this is this is this and this is that and communicating. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean it's a struggle in multiple areas, It just
Mm,
not, it just spills over into everything, So like I said, you just gotta I gotta move different, I gotta look different, like, and I
right,
just
right. I mean, because it has to be an interesting dynamic in the church, being single in the church. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I have to,
you
yeah, it's
you were
different. I just
saying you
digress.
were because you made it like a comment. You said um you got to look different. You got to move. Um, and like I said, I'm really dying to go into this vein, but I'm not gonna do it because I didn't talk to you about this first, so
Okay.
I don't want to feel like I'm just, you know what I'm saying, surprising you or something.
Right.
But I definitely see how that can be, very, 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 very sketchy. It's
Yeah.
particularly for a woman. You know what I'm saying? Because even before anything happened, even before Rachel passed, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure that you still had to deal with attention from men even before. You know what I'm saying? So now
Yeah.
it's just a whole different thing. Ever if
Yes. I guess to be
this
honest
is the
with you,
only
I
question
don't
I'm gonna ask you.
pay attention. I don't think I pay attention to that stuff for real. To be honest, I
Hmm.
think it's more so how I feel. Like it's
Right.
more so how I feel, and in ministry, we've been in ministry together. You know how we gotta operate.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Right.
it's kind of like
Right.
still making sure I operate that way versus, yeah, I had to learn how to operate, because I became a single woman differently, what I'm
Hmm.
saying, when it comes to, just ministry things of that sort. So, just being married, it was just more relaxed, and you just it couldn't it's a hard that would be another show. Like
Yeah,
that would be another
exactly.
show.
That's
That would be
that's
another
that's what I'm
show.
saying. Like I'm
Yeah.
dying to go there, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna put you
Yeah.
in that position
I
because
and
that's not what we do.
I haven't been disrespected or anything like that. Like I said, it's for me. It's personally me how I feel uncovered at times, and so how
Mhm.
I just want. I've been different places, and I just have felt uncovered, and you know, yeah, I just felt uncovered. Like I, just wish this wasn't this way, and
Mhm.
I have my husband here. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just different. Yeah, it would
Right.
be a different. I wish I can articulate it the way I want to, because it's not so much from who's attracted to me. It's not from that space. It's just more so being the person that I am and having to do some of the things that I do. Um, I just wish everybody knew my heart.
Mm. Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
my heart is that I would rather be married.
Right.
And not have to be in this place. So
Sure.
I know that's
Hmm.
kind of like surface, but that's the best way
No,
I
I
can articulate it.
listen. Listen. If if I've never walked down that trail, I how can I tell you what's you know what I'm saying? How can
Right.
I tell you what's not right or what's
Yeah.
whatever? You know what I mean? That I can't imagine.
Right.
I can't imagine being in that position.
Right.
So, the fact that you're able to do what you're able to do is
Yeah.
just a testament to how strong you are and the
Right.
gifts that you've been given and everything. And
Yeah.
so
God is
I see it.
definitely a protector. So I just, like I said, it's more so my heart and how, just yeah, it's just more so my heart and just wishing that that was not an area that I had to, what I'm saying, walk alone in. Like when you a worship leader or a minister or entrepreneur, whatever, it just really felt good to have, what I'm saying, that help, or that protector or that covering,
Absolutely.
So I gotta rely on God in this season.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely. We're kind of winding down. The hour just kind of flies by.
Lies, yeah.
Um, I got a couple more questions for you, and
Okay.
I'm gonna let you go. Um, what would what would you say is the most common misconception that people have about you, or that you found that people have about you?
That I'm unapproachable.
Mm.
That I'm unapproachable. I've heard mean, stuck up. All not true. Those are pretty much the common ones. They're not
Mhm.
true at all.
Right. It's so funny, man. Like I asked this question pretty much to everybody, and it's always like something interesting. Like I bring up this one all the time. I asked this one young lady that very question, and she was like, "You want to know the most common misconception about me? Um, is that I want everybody's husband. I don't want everybody's husband. That's the misconception." And like, and she
I
just
mean,
like went
that's
in.
keeping it real. I would
Like
have
I must
never
have
said
hit like a
that.
yeah, I
I
must
would
have
have never
hit like
said
a
that.
button because she was like, "That's the misconception that I be wanting people husband. I don't want nobody husband." Blah 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 blah. I was like, wow. So like every time I ask that question, I always kind of like I tense up a little bit. I kind of brace myself for what's coming next.
Wow, she
But
kept it all the way real. She kept
yeah,
it real.
absolutely, absolutely. Um,
I don't. I've been dating for real. I've been dating for 2 years. I don't. I don't.
wow,
Yeah. So
wow. Um, this
lock that.
question is this will be my last official question.
Hmm.
It's a question that I ask all my guests, and I believe that I probably asked you the same question the last time you were on here. Just take a moment, think about it, give me the best answer that you can give me. Excuse me. And this question is: in your life, if it hasn't happened already, what would have to happen in your life to feel like your life is a success? What does success look like for you specifically?
Success looks like to me that my children, my children are uh walking in everything they're supposed to walk in. That I've made every effort to make sure they're educated and not just education but financially educated and spiritually educated. Just know that they are confident in everything that God has given them to do and that I have been a part of that. That I'm traveling, you know what I mean? Like I'm traveling from state to state abroad, doing what it is God's called me to do. I would definitely feel successful there. And probably moving out of the state,
Wow.
moving out of the state and
Wow.
just really being where I see or know God has called me to. I see it kind of, gradually like, happening, but yeah, I think, and then I know it sounds kind of, very tangible, but yeah, that's what I see. God's shown me seeds of people. So I don't know if it's seeds of people in one instance or seeds of people over a gradual, time. But just being able to do, for real, like, and be confident in what he's called me to do, So, yeah, my kids and, um,
Go ahead
yeah,
and
just
shout
the
out your
traveling people.
kids.
Hmm?
Go ahead and shout out your kids.
Oh yeah, my son Kamari, he's at Shawan University in North Carolina. Y'all praying? Yeah, all that happened too.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh God, we moved into a new house, back to him. I mean, back to a new area, and um, I have my three girls, Kennedy, Kirsten, and Kaylani, and they keep me busy. My God, so yeah, I just want them to be the best that they can be. I want to be able to to just shower them with as much love as I can, and just imparting to them, some things that I may have missed, or you know, I just want to be, a great mom, and my kids are successful and rich. That's what I want.
That's real though. That's
Yeah,
real.
wealthy. I say
So,
wealthy.
so I'm sitting down with my sister, Miss Lynese Slade, and we've talked about ministry. We've talked about entrepreneurship. We've talked about music as a from different perspectives. Um, and we just talked about life in general. And
Yeah.
I am in awe of what she has been able to accomplish um, while still enduring different levels of hardship, things that I personally couldn't imagine. You know, I think that it's important to have people on like you, so that those that may be going through something similar, or maybe not similar, just going through things, can see that there's an alternative, that you
Mm-hmm.
don't have to wallow in whatever it is. Because I think that sometimes we get comfortable in whatever it is, whatever we're dealing with, because it has become comfortable. It
Right.
becomes the natural thing. And so I love doing the show because it gives me the opportunity to highlight overcomers, people who
Good.
impact community, culture, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, show an alternative that may or may not people may or may not see.
Right.
And it's my hope that even after this interview, this will open doors for you, connections, relationships, or whatever. I use the analogy all the time. Maybe it's somebody with a building that's watching, you know what I'm saying, that sees this and says, "Oh man, I don't have I got this building. I don't know what to do with, but I see this young lady on here and
Right.
she's doing shirts. I would love to give her I can give her this building."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so that's dope.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
with with that being said, Lynese, I just want to thank you for taking the time out to grace this stage. Um, I really appreciate everything that you've imparted tonight. I've learned a lot, and I'm sure that whoever was watching and will watch will get something out of it as well. And
Right.
I hope that you know, I hope that you realize, just like I said in the beginning of towards the beginning of the interview, that what you're doing and what you have done and what you've been able to do, and even the things that you're setting yourself up for in the future, are important, and they make you um I guess influential. I keep
Mm-hmm.
using that word. They make you influential, and I hope that you realize how influential you are, and not just me, but there's, like you said, seeds of people who see you in that way.
Wow.
And even if you never see it the way we see it, just know that we see it, if
Amen.
that makes sense.
Thank you. Thank you, Mike.
Absolutely.
Definitely enjoyed this conversation, and um, just proud of you as well for just
Thank you.
continuing to just be your creative self, and
Thank
that you will know too that enough is enough.
you.
And
Absolutely.
and that I pray all is well with Dee and the family.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Your daughter's so tall. We gotta get offline and talk about that. But wow.
Yeah. She.
You got
Yeah. She's almost as tall as me. So she
wow.
grew up. She's only 10. She's only 10, but listen, growing. growing,
Yeah.
growing. My son is too. But
Amen.
if if I need advice, if I'm trying to do t-shirts too, or if I'm have questions about being a worship leader or a speaker, or just general spiritual guidance or whatever, how do I get in touch with you? How does somebody get in touch with you?
It still can go to hold on. You said, what did you say?
If I'm looking, if I'm watching this and I see you and I got questions about being a worship leader, for
Oh,
instance,
okay,
or
okay. I was
if
about to
I
hit that
have
that
questions about
website.
whatever, like whatever you have going on, how would I get in touch with you?
Okay, so I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram as Lynese Nicole. My website is
Nicole.
LyneseNicole.com. And also, my email address is LyneseNicoleMinistries.com. So I'm available on all those different platforms. I'm open to questions. I'm open to, just conversations. I love to talk about worship. So I'm here, I'm open, and whatever advice I can give, I'm available.
Awesome. Well, again, I want to thank you for coming on the platform. I know you could be doing a gazillion other things, but we appreciate it. I wish you a great night and an awesome weekend, and I wish much blessings on everything that you have going on now and in the future.
Thank you. Right back
And
at you.
I look forward to having you on again soon.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
A new
we're gonna
single is
talk
something.
about that. We're gonna talk about that single date and that dating in the church thing.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do a panel or something. I don't
Yeah, I think a
because I don't
panel
want
would
to.
be good.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
want to
don't
be
single
just
me out. Yeah, don't single me out.
okay. Well, again, I thank you and I appreciate you.
All right. Take
All right,
care.
you
Have a
have a
good
good
night.
night.
All right. Bye bye.
There we have it. Another awesome interview. Shout out to Miss Lynese. I can't even talk. Miss Lynese Slade, LyneseNicole.com. Check her out. Check out her music. Check out her teas. Her that doesn't even sound right. Check out her music. Check out her clothing line, her shirts and hoodies and all that. Um, if you got any questions, hit her up. All that. I want to thank everybody who chose to come out and watch. And if you came in late or in the middle and you want to watch it from the beginning, you can check us out on YouTube. You can watch it again on Facebook, um, whatever, and check it out, whatever. But again, I thank y'all for coming out. And again, man, like I always tell y'all, man, if you got something, feel God led to do something, just do it. Like the Nike commercial says, man, step out there on faith, man, because enough is enough. If it's being shown in your mind, then you already have the tools. You already have the resources, man. Just walk out and do what you got to do, because we're waiting for you. We need what you got. All right. With that being said, I just want to again thank you guys for coming on. You are the bomb. Let's take a walk.